What sort of changes in attitude are we seeing outside of Syria? I think that's really important. I know we heard from the Russian State Deputy Duma spokesman today who said this: the current government in Syria must fulfill its functions, but time has shown that it is not up to the task. Syria not up to the task.
It's huge. I mean, this is huge. The Deputy Speaker at the State Duma, the lower house of Parliament, is not going to say something that isn't sanctioned by the Kremlin. He just wouldn't do it. This is the first time we're seeing and hearing the Kremlin backing away from Assad. That's been his sort of backstop. As long as he's had Russia behind him, he's known he's going to have weapons coming. He's got support, political support behind him. They've been behind him, very strongly behind him. And now they're saying they're not. The writing is on the wall for Assad. And it's really, the question is, how hollow is his regime at the moment, and how long are they going to stay around him when they know the Russians aren't there? That's been the ace in his pocket.
Let's get you a map up then, and get you, pick up the pen and just talk us through where we stand at present. Firstly, one assumes that Assad is in Damascus, right? It's pretty much surrounded at this point. Tell me.
Well, we do assume that. We don't know, but if he was to leave, it would send a huge signal, because the rebels are trying to take the fight to Damascus. If he was to run from there, it would tell, you know, his troops on the streets, his cohorts around him, that he was scared. So he's not going to do that. What you have in the region, if you sort of look at what could happen if the chemical weapons scenario begins to play out, i.e. they get closer to being weaponized. Down here, right down here in the Red Sea, you have some U.S. amphibious assault craft. They have helicopters, they have fighter jets on board, Marines on board. They could be moved, theoretically, in about 3 days here to the Mediterranean. You have in the Mediterranean as well at this time, you have some other U.S. ballistic missile-carrying vessels. They're mostly involved in sort of Europe, NATO shield ballistic missiles, but they carry Tomahawks and such like long-range cruise missiles. So those could be deployed. Fighter aircraft perhaps coming from Italy, U.S. based there. But what else could happen in the region if that were to happen? Well, we see NATO strengthening its position along the border here with Turkey. Patriots could be brought into play. But troops to go in, again, going back to what that rebel commander said, that's not something the rebels want. So potentially standoff armaments. It's a question, though.